Sunday night, the only bar where you won't see a fight. Just sitting down to shoot the shit, from ice cold beers to politics. Plane, train, bus, or in your car, you're always at home at the Real Bar.
Sponsored by the Palisades Hotel Bar and Grill.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to The Real Bar, Season 2, Episode 2, right? Episode 2?
Yes, sir.
Season 2, Episode 2. I'm here with my co-host, RJ Ferrucci. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
And our guest, second guest, we wanted her on since Season 1, but we finally got in contact. Jasmine Millner. What's going on?
Hi. I know you've been trying for like weeks. I'm just the worst at communication.
It has been rough. It has been rough. But we got her. So this is going to be a fun episode. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff people want to hear about. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm sure you guys have seen on Jasmine's Snap stories and stuff like that. At least I have Instagram stories. You don't have a job, right? Can I say that?
You started.
Right, very blunt, like it though.
I just had to,
No,
right?
I don't. No. I see what you're saying. No, I don't have a job. I don't have a regular 9 to 5 cookie cutter job that most people have. No.
Yeah.
So
what's your day to day? Like, what do you do? How do you make money?
It's pure chaos. Every day is different. That's the problem. I'm trying to work on waking up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, because I don't have anywhere to go necessarily.
Yeah.
I work from home, wearing pajamas 90% of the time. I run people's social media accounts.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah. So that's where most of I should start with that.
Yeah.
Most
Wait,
of my,
back up.
my
What?
actual job. Yeah.
Kylie Jenner?
So a business will hire me per month to manage their page so that they don't have to. Yeah. So I have 4 pages right now. I just manage them from home, make content for them, and then my own page. So that covers bills, savings, stuff like that.
So, not to cut you off. So,
No, you're
so real, because do you have a 4-year degree?
Yep.
In what?
Journalism and Spanish.
Okay. I thought she had no degree, and she was basically, she's basically doing marketing and social media, which is what my girlfriend does for companies. And she doesn't work for them. She just, you do, but you don't go into an office.
Right,
you're a contractor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Private contracts.
So that's what pays your actual bills, living. And then what else do you do for just spending money and for fun?
So I don't spend on anything unless I make money in these categories. So Zumba, chair dancing, modeling, acting. I'm forgetting something. There's too many things, honestly.
Okay.
I lose track. But most of those are the core 4.
So I actually had that was way down the list, but since you already said something about it. So you teach Zumba classes, chair dancing, you do modeling, at least for the 2 fitness things. So Zumba and chair dancing, I would assume they're both fitness. I'd put them in that category. I feel like every time I see you do it on Instagram or Snap, you're always saying it's $1 or something. I could be wrong, but it always says just come, tonight it's free, or tonight it's $1, bring a friend. How are you making money on that?
Okay, so that's different. I will charge about $5 for a Zumba class, and then if there's something say most of my regulars can't come, I'll run a special. But it's mostly just I love teaching, and it's a hobby really, and if I could make money doing that, fine, but it's not about that really. And I had been charging higher before that. I was charging 10, and then I had a girl come up to me and be like, I love your classes, can't afford to come all the time. And I don't want people to have to say that. So I cut it back to 5, and now the people that want to come can come and can't afford to.
So where are you doing this? And if you're only charging $5 a head,
yeah,
how do you cover? Is it a studio? Is it
yeah,
whatever it is?
So I teach out in Utica. The studio, it's just he takes a percentage of what I make. I don't have to pay out of pocket. So if I make $0 for the month, he makes $0. If
That's
I make
a hell of a deal.
That's a hell of a deal for you.
Yeah, if I make 50, then he'll make, I think it's 30% of that. It's nothing crazy, and the studio is beautiful. I love teaching there. The one that really makes me money, though, Zumba doesn't make me money, it's just fun, is chair dancing. I charge 10 a head for that, and if we get 10 people, that's $100 to dance with some chairs.
And it's the same studio, so pretty much you walk in with no overhead at all.
Yeah.
And you just walk in and you say, okay, I'm going to teach this class. And then if, say you have 20 people in there, you're making money and you pretty much have no responsibility on it.
Yeah, basically.
So did you create these classes? I mean, I know Zumba is a worldwide class. Did you create the chair dancing class here, or did you learn from somebody?
Yeah.
Did you watch a YouTube?
Yeah, it depends. I was at UAlbany, and I was on a dance team where we danced in heels.
Okay.
So I was one of the captains, kind of, and I would teach different dances. So I thought I could just bring that here because we don't have anything like that in Rome
Yeah.
or Utica at all. So I was looking for a class like that, and I was like, screw it, I'll teach it. Why not? So just up and made a class, and then people join.
That's
So
sick.
what are the responses to this? So they do your class. They're probably skeptical at first. I think I would be. I think it's just natural, right?
Right.
So first class, they walk in, they do your class. What's the responses? Is it like really
It's
good?
50-50. So,
Really?
well, mostly, I mean, it could go one of two ways, 50-50, but 90% of people go the other way. So the first way is people just go there to get out of their comfort zone. So that class in particular, people leave feeling more confident, feeling sexier, more like everything is better for them. And then there's the 10% that didn't really understand what the class was and leave like hating me. It's
Really?
Well, because do you guys know what chair dancing is?
I think I've seen your
Yeah, I was
Instagram.
gonna say honestly only off your Instagram page.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's just dancing.
But I'd say I got a decent understanding.
It's like, it's like pole dancing's tamer cousin. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes sense.
It's you just a dialed down pole dancing, and it's fun. It's just meant to be confidence. It's not anything crazy. You're not dancing on anybody. You're dancing by yourself. But some people don't know that that's what they're getting into when they sign up.
Yeah.
So 9 out of 10 will absolutely love it and come back, and 1 will be like, nothing wrong with it, just not for me.
So how do you like structure your classes? Do you have them more structured towards just having fun and like letting loose, or is it meant to be a workout? Because
It
when I see it,
depends,
I feel like it's a workout.
It's both. So I love it because it's a sneaky workout. It's
I
an
think
hour and
everything's a
half.
workout, though.
Yeah, it's an hour and a
There's
half
the
of
workout,
dancing.
man.
You don't realize that it's a workout until the end. Like I had a girl that was like, "I'm sweating. Like this is crazy." We're just like shimmying, walking, and working with. You know what? It's actually a lot of upper body strength because you have to push yourself up on chairs and stuff like that. You do that 3 times and you're sore. You know.
You want to promote this a little bit and be like where it is
Yeah.
exactly?
Yeah, I
It's,
mean, I'd like to know.
yeah,
Where do
sure.
you do it? How many nights a week?
I would love it if you two came. I'm finally getting guys, and it's amazing.
I saw Josh Reed on. Dude, he looked like he knew his shit. I was-
He
Wait,
killed
Joshua
it.
was on there?
yeah.
Yo.
Dude, I was like, yo, Josh got a little bit going there.
Yeah. No, he's got hips like Shakira. Really, it was great. Having guys there is the best because guys traditionally don't really step out in that way because
Yeah.
it's traditionally feminine. But seeing guys come and then kill it, it's just it makes me so happy. It's in so it's in Utica, 171 Genesee Street on the 3rd floor. Do you guys know where Character Coffee Shop is, or Bite Cafe?
Bite
I know where
Cafe.
Bike Cafe
It's
is.
right
Yeah.
across from Bite. And
Okay.
you go up
Okay.
3 floors. It's gorgeous, and it's $5 Tuesday, Thursday for Zumba, $10 every other Friday for chair.
How do you sign up?
Yeah, you just show up.
Oh, you just show up?
Yeah,
Okay,
or you
so-
can shoot me a message, or like I
Okay.
take PayPal or Venmo or Cash App if you want to
Okay.
pre-register. But
So you think you just walk up and just be like, all right, we're here to go.
we
and-
never. I think the most we've had for chair was 13, and there was still space. So
That's good results, though.
yeah,
You're just
and
starting
it's brand
out.
new. Yeah, I love it. Chair's doing
Jesus.
really well.
We might have to do like a private course down in the garage, just me
Bro.
and you.
All
You
right.
have to.
A-
you have to.
A
Go.
vlog
A vlog.
of the co-host of the Real Bar and Jasmine Millner up in the studio.
Yeah,
That
nah.
would kill it.
You
bro.
go. Let me know how it is, and then I'll definitely come
No,
next time.
It's a deal. Package deal. You both have to come.
We both have to be there.
Just-
That's what makes it
You
funny.
don't even have to.
I'm not saying I'm gonna on here, but I'll definitely think about it. I definitely will for sure. We'll talk about it after we're off air. Because if I make a promise on air, I gotta
You
keep
got to
it.
keep it because I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep playing it back for you.
Exactly. All right. So the second thing I got on here is and I'm sure anyone who follows you knows this, and it's my opinion, but I think it's true. Is like you're very strongly opinionated, or at least like you're not stuck in your ways, but you know how you feel, sort of thing,
Yeah.
and you're not afraid to express it.
Right.
So is there a lot of backlash towards that? Because I'm talking about like real sensitive subjects like politics, like
Yeah.
abortion, gun laws, like all that
Right.
stuff that a lot of people don't like to talk about. Excuse me. You do or don't like to, but you'll voice your opinion.
Yeah.
How does that like work for you? Like I know you don't care what people think because you've said
Right.
that prior, but like do you have people coming at you at all times?
Oh,
like
all the
is it
time.
arguments all the time?
All the
Like
time.
people
But
don't
here's the
like you?
thing.
What's up?
Here's the thing. Nobody's going to like what I'm doing no matter what I'm doing. I might as well do what I like to do. So people want to argue. People they see what I'm doing and they see me standing up for things, and they're no matter what I said, they were going to be mad. Those sensitive topics, 99.9% of it is just people not minding their business. When it comes to LGBT stuff, politics, 90% of the issue is the lack of minding their business. So abortion, I just talked about abortion a couple weeks
Recently,
ago
yeah.
because they tried to pass those laws. And I feel like if I have a platform as a woman, I kind of have to stand up for that rather than talking
Say that
about
again, because I'm uninformed. What laws did they try to pass?
So Alabama, Ohio, I'm missing a bunch. They all tried to pass after 6 weeks abortions are banned.
Banned?
Now, banned
So
completely.
didn't someone pass it though? Didn't someone? It went through.
A lot of them passed. Ohio
6
passed.
weeks.
Alabama passed. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of them, but a lot of them passed.
Okay.
So after 6 weeks, and I know you guys aren't women, but 6 weeks is not a lot of time because your cycle is like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you miss a period and you don't get it taken care of in those 2 weeks after, you're screwed. You
Oh,
have to
so
have
it
that.
counts from.
Oh,
when
from
it
the
happens?
day you're impregnated, like to the day. Okay.
Wow.
And most people, I don't
don't
know, I've
know.
missed one. Like, you don't know. I mean, obviously, like, that's never happened. I've
Yeah.
never had to have that. But if you did, it's just that law is made by men that don't understand women's bodies. Even if you don't like it. I understand people don't like abortion. I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but I feel like if that's the problem, if it's like you said, it's made by men that don't understand. So why aren't all the women voting against it, or are they just outnumbered?
That's a great question. Why aren't the women... All right. You asked. A lot of women from
Jesus.
the southern states and in those places are Republican. They're really strong Christianity or Catholicism. It's something that's been ingrained for so long. If you look at the women in New York State, 90% of us would have been for it, you know? It's a different way of thinking, I guess, and it's kind of male-centric.
So do you think, because I don't want to dive into it, do you think there's a right or a wrong answer to it?
No.
So
here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
I guess basically what I am asking is, like, are you pro-life or pro-choice? But I don't want to dive into it. Just like, do you
No,
think
I-
one answer's
right on
right
the
and one
surface.
answer's wrong?
I think anytime you tell somebody else what they should do with their body, you're wrong. So
Okay.
if you don't want to have an abortion, I completely get that. If you want to have an abortion, completely get that. That's the whole point.
I'm
of
the
being-
same way. Like I'm pro-choice, not in the sense of how she said it. I'm pro-choice with everything in life. Like I feel
Yeah.
like everyone
Just
should have
mind
a
your
choice
business.
to do anything about like regardless of what it is. It could be something as different as driving a car without a license or killing someone or having a baby. You make your own choices in life. That's how I think it should be. I'm pro-choice about the world. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
I think the big problem here is that how is something like that decided by a majority?
It's not a majority.
It is
It's decided by
Think about
a
it.
minority. The Senate.
No,
or
what I'm
that
saying
they
is that
decide it. The majority is
when
the
people
public.
go out and vote, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is in most cases is that the most votes win. So now what happens?
The most votes out of the people who voted.
Yes.
Right.
So let me get to my point here.
Okay,
So what
sorry.
I'm saying is, so what happens to these people that voted against it, but now are forced to abide by those rules? I don't think that's fair because
Yeah.
you're letting someone else decide for you. Even if you vote, right, and your vote say it's a 51 to 49% split, and then your side loses, you're still forced to abide by those rules.
Right.
And I think that's unfair because how can you be forced when you had the votes, you showed up, everyone showed up, but you were just outnumbered.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're forced to abide by those rules.
I think the cookie cutter answer to that is that's the way the government was set up hundreds
Yeah.
of years ago, and we haven't changed
and,
it.
and for certain things, I think that can apply.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I think that's whatever. I think that's fine. Like electing president, whatever.
Right.
But for something that affects each individual person, like your body, my body, I just don't see how that's fair.
Especially when you look at the people that voted, especially I'm thinking about Alabama in particular. You look at the people that voted yes, it's just a sea of white men. Now tell me what white men know about my body and reproductive system. That I don't get that. How
Not
can
unless
you
they're like straight scientists.
Right.
like-
And
Or
even
they're
then scientists are like,
OBGYNs.
right.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
it's voicing like we have this whole separation of religion from politics, but this is like obviously a religious reasoning.
Oh yeah, for
For not
sure.
wanting
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
It's just a mess. The world is a mess. I'm tired.
All right, so this is I'm stretching this one. It's a stretch. But I got to segue this conversation, so I'm going to pull from the last one. Bear with me. So she said something about missing a period and you never know, blah, blah, blah. I'm backtracking, but it's
Okay.
a good segue.
Okay.
So I think something to do with like missing period, it kind of transitioned us to like her diet lifestyle. So you're a vegan. I know it was a stretch.
It was,
but
but it's alright.
but it works.
I'll go with you.
I've heard of diets, strict diet. I've been on diets, strict
Yeah.
diets. I've heard of diet or lifestyles such as being a vegan or pescatarian or whatever you may be can, for females, which I'm a man, know nothing about the female body, can do things to like your female hormones and stuff like that. Could that be something, or have you looked into that?
Okay. So actually, it's not that big of a stretch because I'm going to take you back a little bit. In high school, when I was a junior, I had a pretty bad issue with food and like a really bad relationship with food. So when I went vegan, it was in an attempt to correct that. So I was like borderline anorexic. I wasn't eating enough, and I was journaling everything that I did eat. So I lost my period because of it, because I had lost all my body fat.
Okay.
So I tried to find something where it was a little bit like I knew I could do it healthily and not have to limit myself as much. So I was like, yeah, I'll try being a vegan, and then just never stopped.
I think we can't. I think we gotta like really dive into this one. So, so your relationship with food was, why did you not want to eat? Was it body image? Was
for
it?
sure.
It was body image. Okay.
99% of it. So junior year was a mess, but basically I was just feeling not so good in my body, and so I went a little crazy with it. I was working out 2 hours a day in the morning, 2 hours a day at night, like an apple for breakfast. I could tell you, I still remember everything I was eating every day. It was the same thing every single day, and then it would get to the point where I would just like binge because I was starving. So that relationship with food was like junior year through the end of senior year, and then I went vegan. So that's honestly, you were probably going to talk about the health issue stuff.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Or we can. It's up to you.
Well, I think that's 99% of my problems now, is that 2-year span of just not taking care of my body right. So
Was it self-perceived body image, or was it other people? 'Cause I think that's
both.
it was both.
Well, here's the other thing, was when I was losing weight, I was getting so much like affirmation from everybody else that I thought it was right. So I remember specifically people in high school being like, "Oh my God, Jasmine's losing all this weight. It's great." And then I was like just bone, and people were still hyping that up. So I just kept going and kept going. But originally it was, I remember like at a family party, someone said I was getting thick. And I know that's not necessarily a bad thing, but junior year me was like, "Oh my God, I'm a whale. I got to stop eating." Went crazy.
That's interesting to me, only because like I personally, like, with my weight fluctuation, how I used to be really skinny and like in shape, and now where I am now, like it's crazy to me to think that someone like you with your personality now even cared to what like other people thought. So did all that start? Like, did your personality kind of develop and like adapt? Like, because like back then it sounds like people said something, you cared about, oh, Jasmine's getting skinny, or Jasmine's thick, and you changed what you did based on that. Why did you do that? Because like right now, I feel like you wouldn't, like if I told you, if you walked in here and I was like, Jesus Christ, last time I saw you were skinny, now you're bigger.
Like, F off,
you'd have been
Mason,
like,
I don't care what you
okay,
think.
and your opinion matters because.
Right.
So what happened that made you change that? You cared what people think, and now you don't.
Right, but like look at what it did. Caring what people thought of me destroyed my health and my body, and not for nothing, that's not the only example where something like that's happened. It's exhausting to take everything people say and apply it to yourself, because 90% of the time it's only to do with that person. So people shaming my body, they probably have image issues themselves, you know what I mean? So I don't take anything personally anymore. Someone calls me ugly on Instagram, okay, like that's fine. I'm sorry you feel so hurt that you have to hurt other people, but nothing phases me, really.
So another thing I have is so I know you do like modeling and gigs, like, I mean, you said it as well, but I knew prior. Did any of that have shape the way you change your body? So like, have you went to modeling gigs? Because I know like with Instagram models I follow, like with millions of followers, they kind of say like, I went to this one gig and like this guy said I had to lose 7 pounds around. Like, have you ever went to a gig and the person or the photographer, I don't know how they work, was like, hey, like, I wish you just had a little trimmed off of here. Like,
right. Okay. So I will get called to things and it will be implied that I didn't get it for a reason. So it's not always my weight. 90% of the time you go into an audition and there's 20 other girls that look exactly like you, but you can see something that's a little bit better, a little bit different on them. Mm-hmm. So I never take that kind of stuff personally, because it is a business driven by what you look like. I've never explicitly been told to lose weight. I've felt like it when I left, because I've seen the girl that got it and she was half my size. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to change for that, because there's a role that wants somebody that looks like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She won't get cast for something that I would get cast for.
I think it's important to see where you came from, though.
Yeah.
I think like, you came from caring so much
what
people look like, right?
Yeah.
To slowly working your way out of that habit, not even a habit, but that thought process, to now you're putting yourself out there on literally Instagram where you have, I don't even know how many followers and how many likes you get. I mean, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
And I don't know what caused that for you. I don't know if you know. I think it'd be interesting to know because I think there's a lot of people out there with the same problem you have. I think that's
Or
something
had,
people can learn from.
I wouldn't say she had problems. Had. Past
Sorry,
tense.
but I think we, I don't know if you know what the trick is. Hopefully.
The trick to like being confident in that, or
No, almost
putting
I
yourself-
don't want to take words out of your mouth. You're saying almost a trick to like not caring what people think,
So like, no, I'm saying
not
to,
changing who you are based on someone else's opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a flip of a switch to that, or is
The
it you
flip
have
of
to
the
learn
switch-
over time?
Yeah, it's definitely muscle. Like you have to work at it. But the one thing that really changed my mind was seeing like when I was hurt, what I would say about other people, and now that I'm not hurt, realizing that I don't care what other people are doing. So anytime somebody hurts me or tries to attack me on social media or calls me fat or something, I look at through the lens of, all right, there's something clearly going on with you. And it's not me because I don't know you. So if you're hating me, then there's something going on personally.
So do you think, not to like call you out, but do you think that's like because I kind of agree with that. Like I think there's people who like talk shit or like who have their own problems and they're just projecting them on you. But do you think that's 100% of people? You're saying anyone that talks shit to you on Instagram, like, buddy, you're going through your own shit. Do you think that's how it is? Literally anyone?
No. If you're happy, you don't care about other people's stuff. So I know I am truly happy. So if somebody does something that I don't agree with, like in this town, I don't care. Just do what you want to do. If it's something that I feel like is hurting somebody else, that'd be completely different. But anybody that says anything negative, it's just, unless it's coming from a place of like being constructive. Like I've had people say like, maybe you should do this with your hair. I think it looked really good. That's fine. It's when they're coming at it and saying like I remember I got called the N-word like a couple weeks ago on Instagram, and I was like,
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
people are so mean to me. I'm like,
So
I didn't
do you think
anything.
there's a difference between, and this is kind of a selfish question for me, do you think there's a difference between people being like assholes or like just projecting like their problems on you and just people that are brutally honest? Because I put myself in the category of someone, I think I'm brutally honest,
Right.
but also I have a lot of people who like, people that know me know that's what I am, but also people that don't, they're like, dude, you're a straight asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like I just tell you the truth. Like if you show up to work and I don't like what you're wearing, I'm like, dude, that outfit looks a little weird. I'm not trying to be like, you could tell me I'm fat and ugly, like, all right, that's you. That's what I think. I think brutally honest is a lot different than someone who's projecting their problems onto you.
Right, but here's the other thing. If somebody I don't know, say it's like a middle-aged man that follows me on Instagram, comes and says, oh, you, I don't know, your body's too big or whatever.
Yeah.
What prompted you to say, because I don't care. So if you're taking the time to message me, that took time out of your day to say something to me, that doesn't make sense to me. I can't get behind that. Now, if I have a friend, like, I'm thinking, do you guys remember Megan Pritchard?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I still work with Megan.
I love Megan, but she
She's
used to
awesome.
be so, like, just straight to the point. Like, I don't like this, I don't care. And I love people like that, I do.
Yeah.
But when it comes from a place of where you're intending to harm someone, that's where I have an issue. If you come up to
That
me
makes
and say you
sense.
don't like my shirt, I'm like, okay, Mason, have a good day.
Exactly.
That's
My
fine.
opinion doesn't matter, but also I don't feel like it should come back on me or whoever it may be for giving you the opinion. Like
Right. Well,
some
and
people are
it's-
so hurt by
Right.
you telling them the truth, or at least your
but
version
also,
of
you're
it.
looking at it like as like a face-to-face thing. Like what she's talking about is like, all right,
Comments,
this
social
person
media.
literally came out of nowhere
Right.
Yeah.
to say this, and that's why I would agree with you there. Like if they're taking time out of their day, there's something deeper there.
Yeah.
Just for you to take time out of your day just to like I know I don't think I've ever went on someone's Instagram and been like, you suck, idiot.
Right. Why?
No, now I get it.
just-
And that makes sense.
But
I agree.
I see how you're saying it, and I see how she's
I'm saying,
it.
yeah, we're talking opposite, which I didn't get till you said that. I would never go on someone's Facebook or Instagram and be like, you know what? That dress is
No.
fucking
Right.
hideous.
Unless you were messing with me or
Yeah.
one of your friends.
But
Hey,
I'm
you look
sa-
ugly, idiot.
I'm
Like,
saying
that's
if you
different.
came over, like RJ, if you came over to my house and you were wearing some fucking capris with with a pink sweater and some like boots, I'd be like, bro, you literally look dumb as fuck. And you wouldn't care, but
No.
that's how I am face to
just
face.
different.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not like a
No,
social
that-
media
that
troll.
is I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
I like honesty. It's like maybe 6 months ago I had somebody make 6 or 7 accounts because I kept blocking them to just bash my page.
Jesus.
If you have that much free time,
Yeah,
because
you
I
got
don't
a
care. I'm
lot.
just
There's
hitting the
something
block
there.
button.
I don't know what it is, and I won't even try to explain it.
can't
But
even
there's
imagine.
something there.
Yeah, they got to start reading or something. Find something.
Find a hobby.
Bro,
God,
yeah.
the
knitting.
Instagram, something. Please.
Rollerblading or something. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh man.
All right, so I guess we'll backtrack a little more again. So back to the modeling. I know you talked about how you pay your bills and this and that off the rip, but you didn't really speak about modeling. So you did say you go to gigs and get declined for certain things, blah blah blah. But what is that process? How did you become a model? How do people get in contact with you? Do you have like what is it called? Like face shots that you send to people or whatever they're called?
What are those called?
Like
Headshots.
Headshots.
Sorry, I'm uninformed again.
Face shot works.
I'm very ignorant. Everyone knows that. So yeah, headshots. Like, what is the whole world of modeling? How did you get into it? And then I guess if you can answer all that, can you segue it into like how did you get into also the film you just did?
Okay. Yeah. So I started out. I had a family friend that wanted to grow their portfolio. She's like, "Can I just take pictures of you? Whatever." I took the photos. They came out really, really well, and so I sent them I put them up on Instagram. And from there, I was getting messages from other photographers like, "Oh, I want to do the same thing. Can I shoot you too?" All that stuff happened. I was working with newer photographers. Jesus, I'm dying. Working with newer photographers and then moving up to like more experienced photographers. And then I got signed to 2 agencies. Water break.
Jeez.
Let's
2
get to that water.
Hey,
Thank
sip
you.
that tea.
There's no drugs in that, right?
No, I'm good. Can we get rewind, back it up. The only reason she said that, everyone, she asked if there was drugs in the water, is because I was going to bring her bottled water like a great host, but I was running late, so I was going to just give her water from a purified thing in our fridge, and RJ told me not to because it's very sketchy. So she is drinking the water. There is no drugs in it. The glass is
We'll
clean.
see.
The water's great.
When I finish it, we'll wait
It
like
tastes
an hour.
good, though, right?
I mean, I don't know what drugs taste like for that. So
Jeez.
anyway,
We're not uploading this.
Got it.
Got it. All right. So back to the modeling.
right. Okay, so I got signed to 2 agencies. One is national and one is local. So the local one, I get more jobs because it's right down the street. I go audition in Rochester, Syracuse, Albany. A lot of times now because of the internet, I can audition online. So I'll just submit my headshot. They'll say yes or no right away. That's way better because driving to Rochester and getting rejected hurts. Hurts me. But that's another thing, talking about how I like gave myself more of a like I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
Is I get rejected now daily.
I just took that the wrong way. She goes driving to Rochester and getting rejected it's not good. Actually, RJ talking about that. I was like, damn, that man goes to Rochester to get shut down.
Oh, God. No. No, but I get rejected so often that I don't care. But yeah, so I got signed to those 2. One's local, one's in, I think they're based out of LA. So all the stuff that I get here is like I work at Turning Stone, I work for like local, I did Metro Mattress, like the most random things around here. They all go through this agency. So anything that films locally will hire through my specific agency.
Sorry, I thought the light was flickering. I'm listening.
That's all right. Yeah.
All right, so you said you have one national, one local.
Mm-hmm.
How did the national one like get in contact with you? And is it just because I know nothing about modeling? Is it something's flickering? Am I right?
Bro, no, it's not. You're tripping.
Maybe you got the drugs.
Jesus. So is it based on a contract? Do you sign a contract like, you know what, I'm gonna do this many gigs or whatever they're called, gigs for you this year or over this many months? Is it a salary? Is it paid on based on the gigs?
Yeah.
How did or do you just work for the agency and they push you to different people, and if you get hired, you get hired?
Right. So it's the latter, but it's a contract you sign, and basically it says we're gonna get you the auditions. If you book it, we take a cut. That's it. So it's not really up to them if I book it. They can push for me. Like if they see something and they think I'd be perfect, they might just send me and maybe one other person. But yeah, I'll get sent to a gig, and if I get it, then I get it and I get paid whatever that was, and they'll take a small percentage. And if I don't, then I just go back and try again.
So the agency is kind of just like, they don't get you the gigs, they just kind of push you farther than you. Like, it's almost like, so say you had 2,000 Instagram followers and I had 15,000 and you posted a picture on mine, it would get more views. So like the agency kind of just gives you more of an audience.
They have more of an exclusive hold over upstate New York, so 99% of the stuff that gets shot here goes through them. So I wouldn't be able to get these jobs. It's kind of like a gate. So I wouldn't be able to get these jobs if I wasn't with them. It's opened like millions of doors because I signed with that agency.
It's cool. You have son?
Yeah. So I don't know how personal this is for you.
I don't care. You're good.
I saw on Twitter, I don't know how far, it was a long time ago, I think. Not even that long, actually.
Uh-oh. I know what you're talking about.
Do you?
I think so.
There
Already?
was a
She
thre-
tweets 6 times a day.
There
How does she know what you're talking about?
I think because there was a thread that you posted about a bad experience with modeling.
Yeah.
And can you go into that, because, and not just like, I don't want to blow your spot, but like
No.
I think it's important for people because I read
tweeted
the
it.
thread.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's actually more for people's safety.
Yeah.
If anything. So
Don't, no names or anything, though.
Yeah.
No,
no,
obviously.
don't worry.
All right.
So this isn't the first time something bad has happened. Like, modeling is not all the pictures, okay? Everything
Yeah.
behind it kind of sucks 90% of the time. One of the big things was I would get people that were saying they were with somebody or saying they worked for somebody and asking me to audition for that, and then not actually being affiliated with that business. So this one in particular said they worked for a local casino. Not going to say which one, even though it was pretty obvious. So they said they worked with that casino. They said, there's a boxing thing coming up. I'd love for you to be one of the ring girls. Do you guys know what the
Yeah.
cards-
Yeah.
Now, I know my agency does that. I wasn't signed with them yet. That's 90% of the reason why I signed too, is protection.
Yeah.
Because before that, people are so
Take
sketchy.
advantage, yeah.
So he says, I work with them. I would love for you to come in and meet with me so that I know that you're good to do this role. He says, you should meet me here. And now it's like 9 p.m. And I'm like, if it was the place that they said it would be like in their office during the daytime. So I kind of thought it was sketchy. I called this casino, and they said they don't have any male promoters. So now I'm scared, because it's like, and he wouldn't leave me alone. He was calling me from different numbers, got all my stuff, knew where I was. That's why I tagged my photos in different locations now. This guy in particular.
Wait, in different locations?
Yeah.
So where you tag him is not where you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tag, if I do post a photo, like I posted something at Lake Delta, I wait 2 hours until after I leave.
So you're gone.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because I don't
My
trust
God.
these people. So he made my life hell for like 2 weeks. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, because he was, it was just like every time I would hear my phone buzz, I would freak out. So, yeah, I reported that. Luckily, my dad's a police officer, so he didn't
Yeah.
let that fly. But creepy men in this industry are everywhere. That's not the first time something bad has happened. It was probably the second worst experience I've had. But you have to, this is like advice to anybody that wants to do this. You need to talk to people that person has worked with. Like, don't just trust that they've had this relationship. Call that girl. Make sure he's fine. Just make sure you're not working with sketchy people. It's
That's
hard.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
And so your best bet would be use an agency if you're gonna be out.
But here's the thing: is you have to get to a certain level before you get signed,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So on the come up, like, I'm thinking back, there was a photographer. I went down to New York, and now I'm alone in New York, and this guy is a creep.
Yeah.
And I realized immediately I screwed up because I'm staying there.
At his
doing a
house?
shoot. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Okay, so here's
That's the grind, though. That is the grind.
That's the
Yeah.
grind, but fuck that.
And that time I had done everything. I'd called multiple people. I had checked on this person. I had called their studio, made sure they were reputable, and they were still creepy. So
But were they just? I mean, I'm not just creepy, but were they just a creep, or were they literally like not who they said they were? Sort
they
of
were
thing?
who they said they were.
But they were just a creepy
just
fuck.
So really inappropriate, like to the
Okay.
max. You can be inappropriate. So I just don't recommend going anywhere unless you have a friend. I was in college at the time. I didn't expect my friends to jump on the train and come to New York
Yeah.
City with me for the day.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought I could handle that. Just go someplace with somebody. And I know it's kind of sexist, but like I like to bring like maybe my boyfriend or bring somebody that's maybe my dad, because I know people aren't going to do stuff with my
Maybe
dad's
my
there.
dad.
Maybe my
If
Her
I
dad.
dad
see
is
your
a
walking,
rock.
I'm running.
All right, so kind of just to move off of that. So I see on your, I don't even know if it's our Snap or Instagram. I
Instagram. I
think I
don't
have
use
you on.
Snap.
Oh, you don't have Snap.
Well,
okay,
I do. I just don't use it.
okay, so it's got to be Instagram. I see you. Excuse me again. Promote a lot of things like skincare products, food, like face scrubs, lotions, like just stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Random stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
random, but still like how do you get those? Is it through your agents? Like how do you get
Oh,
them
no.
those
That's
companies
separate.
to contact you? And then also how do you choose which ones, because I'm sure you shut some down.
Oh, yeah.
How do you choose which ones you're going to promote?
Sure. Yeah. So first thing, modeling and the social media stuff are completely separate. So anything I
Okay.
do modeling wise is like job. Social media is more like that's my core day job thing.
Okay.
So for that, I'll get an email or because my email's on my profile. Someone will email me and be like, "I'm from so and so. We want you to review this product," and either they'll offer payment or they'll just say in exchange for the product. And then there's websites you can go through to apply to certain campaigns. So one that I'm applying to, like, there'll be a list of different brands, right? And it'll go through and you can apply and say, but I want $20 to do so, or but I want $100 to do so, stuff like that. But I don't pick anything that I wouldn't use personally, obviously, because I'm not going to tell you to buy a face scrub if it's trash. I wouldn't buy or I wouldn't promote anything that I thought was irresponsible. So weight loss related, anything crazy like that. No, I'm super picky.
I'm just looking.
No, you can
at
keep talking. I'm recording you. She thought I was being wicked rude.
Fine.
While
No,
you're
no.
recording, I'm literally looking at some of your ads right now.
Yeah, I'm taking. You can
I
keep
didn't
going.
even know. I didn't know that until you just said it that you do that. So I'm actually looking
No,
at
she
your last one.
dude, she promotes like a crazy amount of stuff.
I see
She,
your
I don't know if were you just promoting that like toaster and shit,
I love that.
or did you just
toaster.
buy it?
No, I didn't buy that toaster. So
You were promoting it?
Yeah.
That's crazy,
toaster?
dude. I literally thought she bought it and just loved it, which you did. But what she loved,
love that toaster.
she was promoting that shit. She got a toaster. Wait, tell me if I'm wrong. A toaster, a tea kettle, a small coffee
Yes.
pot, and one other thing.
No, that was
that was it.
Oh,
Three
I
things?
see the toaster.
I
do
love
see
Dude,
the
that
they're
toaster.
cool.
toaster.
All right, but keep going. Sorry, I won't pull my phone out
That's
to
a
record
good
you
example.
again.
No, you're okay. That's a good example. So that toaster, it was the three of them. It was a campaign, so I can apply to that campaign, right?
Mhm.
And they can say yes or no. So a lot of the food stuff say no to me because I could burn cereal. I'm an awful cook. But
Yeah.
George Foreman said yes. That specific one said yes. So sometimes I even get rejected. Like I'll apply to something and they'll just say I'm not a good fit. Or I'll just tell somebody that I'm not interested. Like something nutrition texted me or emailed me and wanted me to promote like a skinny tea or a weight loss tea.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that on my page because it implies that it got my body. Like I don't want
Yeah.
girls to see that and buy
Yeah.
it. So I don't do anything like that. Yeah, I'm really picky. I've turned down even this morning, probably 5 this morning.
So do you?
Wait, you get them like that?
That's what I. Well,
Yeah.
do you apply for all of these, or do a lot of them reach out to you? What's the majority?
The majority is reaching out to me. The big
Wow.
stuff is applications. So that toaster, I saw that toaster. I was like, I want that toaster.
So
Please
where
send me
is
that.
this? I mean, I'm literally asking selfish
Yeah.
reason. Like,
Yeah.
I would like to do the same thing with
Yeah.
this podcast. Like, it's a brand. I would
Sure.
like to, like, how do you get to that bigger stuff? Is it just like a
The bigger
generic,
stuff took
like,
a while. Like the toaster stuff, I had to have 10K before I could apply to those campaigns.
Wow.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
bro.
Wow.
That's
and,
crazy.
And they might not even want me after that. And there's like one of my friends has 30K, right? So her campaigns are different from mine. She'll see something that's like 20K and up, or 50K and up, 100K and up. And the girls that get over like 100K, those girls are making like $1,000 per post. I'm not even joking.
Holy. So, is it per post?
Mhm.
It's a flat rate, right?
Yeah, it
so,
depends.
or is it like you have 30,000 followers, and if you get this many likes,
Yeah, none of that.
None of that,
Usually
okay.
they can say they don't want to work with you again if it doesn't perform well.
Yeah.
But 90% of it is I'll say, "Hey, I'll promote this for $20 or I'll do it for free." Like the toaster, I was like, you don't have to pay me, give me the toaster. I'm more than happy to just get that toaster. If you can't tell, I really love that toaster.
You know, yeah, I figured that out.
So, what were we talking about?
Dude, the scary part is though she really tricked me. Like, I thought you went and bought that. I was like,
it says ad. I'll talk about that too.
I was like, bro, she loves this. I was like, I don't even fuck with toasters like that. Like, I don't even make toast, but like, I was like, that shit, like, just to have in your kitchen, like, that's a good aesthetic. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I
it is
might
nice.
get that toaster. And now she comes here and she's like, yeah, like, that was a straight ad. Like,
it says ad.
no, I'm not saying you're false promoting. I'm just
No, no,
saying,
no,
like,
that's the
just
other
looking
thing.
at it quick, I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
with
'cause
the
you're not gonna
tea
read that,
kettle?
like,
The
you
tea
won't read
kettle
the
had a fucking watch on it or whatever,
It's
like
really
a
cool.
timer. Dude,
I
to
didn't
tell
see
you.
it. Shit, I gotta look at
It's
that.
really
Dude.
it's cute. Anyway, so about that, I try to make it as transparent as possible. Like if I'm next to a toaster, I don't just like toast like that. You know what I mean? Like
Now I know.
I'll say ad and I'll make it even clearer. So if I make a decent amount of money for a post, like that one was free, it'll say ad, but if I was paid for it, I will put ad in the beginning before I write anything else.
I did see that on our George Foreman. It says hashtag ad right.
I might have. I don't remember
But
seeing it.
When you're scrolling through, you're not like.
That's what I'm
"Yo,
saying.
let me
I'm
read
just.
the
I'm
description of
well,
this
because
toaster,
the ones
bro."
I
Like,
watched,
Right.
the ones I watched were a video. She was like, "Hey guys, like fucking," like, she was like talking about the shit she got, and I was literally just looking at, and it was like nice red stainless steel. I was like, dude, that is some sick shit.
I'm
It
so
literally looked
excited.
like some like stuff you could get at Big Lots, but like the high end Big
No,
Lots. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I might get that. Like, I didn't know she was like not paid, but I didn't know it was like a promotion. I thought she was just hyped on her toes.
You would never know if you didn't see the ad.
That's what I'm saying.
How would you?
That's crazy.
Yeah, some of them are more explicit than others for sure. Like if I'm holding something and smiling. Ad.
Well, yeah.
And you've seen that for like skincare
well,
stuff.
and then normally if
that.
you say like, hey, use my code, they normally don't give you a code unless you're promoting it and want to draw people to the site.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I could figure that out. But when I was just scrolling, that was the one thing I remember where I was
funny.
like, damn, like
She
she's
just
really on her breakfast shit.
You're lucky. Honestly, you're lucky you came on here. Because Mason would have thought that for the rest of his life, that you would just love toasters.
I do really love that
Dude,
toaster.
I was going to start promoting it. I was like, yo, go to her page and get that toast. I was about to do it for her. Like, that toaster is on point, dude.
Yeah.
We're promoting it right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Russell
are.
Hobbs, Jasmine 10 is my code. Go ahead.
Damn.
Jasmine
Or
10.
Jasmine 25.
No free
I
shout
think
outs.
it's
We're
25.
cutting that. I'm just kidding.
You should have them sponsor you.
All right, so now that we know you promote stuff, you're an entrepreneur, like you do a lot of like stuff on your own sort of thing, like freelance stuff. You talked about on, I can't say Snapchat, her Instagram, that you didn't even, I guess I'll say think, you didn't even think your parents supported your choice in lifestyle, like not having a full or a 9 to 5 and like not having a steady income, like the same paycheck every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You literally said on your Instagram story, you were like, I don't even think my parents like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I personally, I know your dad very well. Like, he tutored me for 3 to 4 years or
I remember
whatever.
that.
And I know your mom pretty well. Like, I mean, they were family friends,
Yeah.
obviously. I never thought they would be the kind of parents, and I'm not coming at her parents,
No, you're good.
that would not support any career path you chose. So,
Yeah.
have you talked to them since then?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like,
Okay,
do
let
they
me
support you?
Clarify, because
Yeah.
it's not that they don't support me. They support the hell out of me. It's just that they would prefer that I
Yeah.
had something steady. They understand why I don't and why I left that first job. They completely get that. They're just worried that there's going to be a month where I'd miss a bill or something. So I
Okay.
understand, like from a parent perspective, totally understand that. But until that happens, there's no reason to worry because everything has been more than fine since. Actually, I had one rocky month. I was scared.
Really?
I was sweating. Everything came in fine. That was month 2. Because month 1, I came out the gate and I was like, I got this.
What
And the
month are you on now?
7?
7 months with no full-time job?
6 or 7. Yeah.
And what's the growth like for you? Has it been like
Money-wise?
Not even money wise, but like followers, anything. Just
Yeah.
like your life in the last 7 months. How has it been? Better, worse,
Oh, yeah.
same?
Okay, I can't even. It's infinitely better and also like totally uncharted territory where I have no idea what's happening 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Because not for nothing, if I don't book a modeling gig or if I lose a client, that one scares me every time. If I lose a client, I'm not going to say how much I charge per client. That's all that money gone.
Client for what?
For social media.
Oh, okay.
First day, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so if one is like, hey, we don't need you this month, I'm going to start sweating and I'm going to have to go find something else. But I try to keep it to the point where I can lose like 2 clients and still be okay. I never get that low where I'm like nervous every month. I'm not nervous about paying bills, but I am nervous about spending on things I don't need. Like today I went and bought a $5 notebook and I was like holding the 5 like
Jesus.
I'll take it.
yeah.
So are you, and I don't want to like, I
No,
don't
you're
want a
good.
dollar
Anything.
amount or anything like that. So are you tight with your money because you never know how much is coming in? Or do you not have a lot of money saved up?
I have a savings. So
Like
I have
like
an
right now, could you
emergency
go on
fund.
like a trip or like, could you go to, so you have money.
Yeah.
You just,
I'm just like scared all the time.
Okay.
Because it's not guaranteed like it was before. Like before, if I wanted to go on a trip, I knew another check was coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it would replace that. But if I go on a trip now, I gotta hustle and I gotta earn that trip. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's a problem with what you're doing, honestly.
so is there a difference? Go ahead. Sorry.
If you think about what you're doing, you're a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a salesman. And those are all real jobs, right?
Yeah.
Like there's salesmen that go out there that don't get paid anything or get paid like chump change. And if they don't sell, they don't make money. There's entrepreneurs that go out there and if they don't sell their product or
Yeah.
their service, whatever, they don't make money. You're doing the same thing. So I don't think it's like some weird concept that you don't have a job.
It's the social media aspect I think is what scares like my parents because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
They just see this toaster like how the hell do you have this toaster here? Stuff they don't there's a disconnect. But
Yeah.
our age we get it. It's an entrepreneur thing. They don't see it like that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So explaining that's one of the hardest issues is explaining to other people what I do cuz most of the time I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
It's just I tweet for them, I post for them, I go pose in this
Yeah,
photo.
but it's
and
not
walk
hard to
around.
understand what you do. Like
Yeah.
if I had to
No,
sum it up, you're literally, I mean, you do a lot of different things, but
Yeah.
to sum up what you do, you're a small scale, not to say it's small, but compared to people with millions,
At the moment, it's
you're
small.
yeah, you're a small scale like social influencer.
Mhm.
You influence people regardless of if it's to take on a new thing, which is chair dancing, or go buy a toaster, or try a new face scrub.
Yeah.
You influence people
Yeah.
through social media.
Right.
Like
And
that's
not-
you
not
do.
crazy at all. That's
I don't.
totally-
I think
been
it's.
done
I
by
think
many
her
people.
job is one title. I mean, she wears many hats. She does
Yeah.
10, 15, whatever
I
she
do, and
does.
they get mixed up. That's the other thing is
Yeah.
people don't get like when you do a lot of things. It's hard to take hat A off and go into hat B.
Yeah.
Because I'm stressing about hat A still because I don't have a set work schedule.
Yeah.
So 9 to 5, once you clock out at 5, the rest of the day is yours to do whatever you want.
Exactly.
But like I know right in my head right now I have to post something at 10 something. Right, so I'm thinking about that while we're doing this, but I also have to do something else for this and something else for that when we leave. So it's never set, and if I screw up and don't get up on time in the morning, I'm screwed for the rest of the day. It's a mess. It's great. I love it. Wouldn't
Yeah.
trade it for a regular job for
Yeah.
now. I mean, there's still potential that it could fail and I have to go get another job. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was still infinitely better than where I was.
So what's and like I said, I want to stay as far away from your paycheck as we possibly can. Well, I don't want to. I'm not
No,
asking
that's
her
that's
that,
for
but I
sure.
do want to compare.
Yeah.
So what? So say I make I'll throw a number out there. Say I make $2,000 every
Okay.
2 weeks, so $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Can you live comparable to that amount of money? If that's too much, don't even answer it.
Okay, I'm just making sure I know what you're saying. You're asking if what I'm doing now I'm making close to that, or
Not even that amount of money. I'm saying like the lifestyle you live. Can you live the way someone that has a steady income can
okay,
live?
all
Because
right.
I know you don't live like that. You said
Right.
you're tight with your money because you want to be.
Right.
But like, even your last job, I don't know what you were making. I don't
Yeah.
know what you did.
I'll
Are
go
you
from
living
that
the same way?
perspective.
Better?
So
Yeah.
my old job, I'm not going to tell you the exact figure I was making,
yeah.
but I was making probably, I'm probably making 3/4, 2/3 about what I was making before, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
it does.
it's delayed, so I don't know. Like I'll get a modeling gig. I just got paid from a modeling gig in February this week, so I could be busting my ass in February and get paid for it now, whereas that before was guaranteed all the time. I don't know when my money's coming, which is why I'm so tight
That's the
about it.
thing, which not as comparable, but just to throw my perspective. When I was younger, probably like 15, 16, I used to play video games for money, and you'd win it. No, I know it's funny, but like you'd win a tournament, and like say the payout was $250, which when you're 16, that's a lot of money.
Crazy, yeah.
I'd win the tournament in March, and not get the paycheck till June. Like, so that's kind of how it is, right? There's not like, hey, if you post this today, 2 weeks from now you got a check.
Right.
That's not how any of that works.
Well, the social media stuff is pretty immediate. I click upload, they say great or no, redo it, which hasn't happened yet, thank God.
They can tell you to redo your post.
Well, they can suggest it. They can be like,
Okay.
yo, we gave you $20. We don't like what you did. Can you do something else?
Wait,
Most
real
of the time-
quick.
Yeah.
Can you give us a size of this company? Not like, is it small, medium, large?
Mine?
Like the companies you are promoting for.
That's for.
Oh.
Wait. What do you mean? Promote
For
for?
for the
Instagram?
websites. Yeah.
So the ones that I manage or the ones that I promote?
The one that you manage.
The ones that I manage are all small. So micro is
Small.
great because I can build. So I'm taking pages from 100 to 2,000 in 2 months. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
trying to grow
All right, now
other
I'm
people's.
okay, I'm seeing what you're.
I don't like to manage people that are big because they already have a scheme set up. I like to create new schemes for small businesses. And that's also like a hobby of mine because I am a small business. I want to see other small businesses do well.
That's actually a question I had for you. So,
Yeah.
excuse me with my voice. So if you're not promoting, actually, you're managing other people's accounts, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. If you're managing their accounts, dude, you gotta
Dude.
relax with the
Might
ringtone.
be.
If you're managing other people's accounts, where do you get the passion from? Because you have it for your own. You said, I'm a small business. I love growing. Like, if I was like, hey, do you want to manage this for this company? Where's your passion? I know there's money. Money's not passion.
No,
like, where
but-
do you get the drive to actually, like,
Yeah,
let's
I've-
do it. I want
right.
to post this. Like,
I love the drive up. Like sometimes it's just the content in itself. Like I started to work with one business that I genuinely love what they do and love creating content for them. But other things it's like I manage a page for somebody's small business that I know. So I know I'm helping that person. They're helping me and together we're growing because of that. So that's the most of the passion is like I just like helping people and I
it's
like
genuine.
doing this. Yeah, I
it's
don't
actually, okay.
even if I was making like the month where I was stressed, I only had one client, and that covers bills. It does. It covers 99% of the bills, but I was like, this is crazy. After that, it's everything else is just bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Makes
I mean,
sense.
if you continue to grow, I mean that's the idea for every small business. I'm going to consider you a small business. If you continue to grow, you may never need to have a full-time job.
That's the goal, and I'm not saying never, because I wouldn't mind if I was a full-time social media for somebody that I loved, like a company that I was 1,000% behind. But right now it's really nice to, like, if somebody, I remember something happened and I needed to go somewhere, I didn't have to tell anybody, I just went. You know what I mean? I'm living it on my terms, and if I don't work, then I beat myself up because I know it's my fault. Everything is, all the money I make is my fault. Everything that happens that's wrong is my fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of accountability. It's a lot of new territory for me, for sure.
So what would you So I had a guest on. I'm not gonna drop any names or anything, but I had a guest on season 1 who talked about like being able to like quit your job and kind of like go towards your passion or like your dreams. And I disagreed with him at the time, but kind of seeing your perspective, what would be your advice for someone that, like, say like me, was working a 9 to 5, and I was like, you know what, I really just want to focus on this. What's your advice for someone that's got bills but wants to pursue a passion?
It's hard. It's definitely hard. The number one thing I'd say is whatever you're working on, there's going to be about 6 months to a year where you are like sleepless. You're putting the amount of work you put into your 9 to 5 into your side hustle that you want to be your main thing. So like when I was at my old job, I was like not sleeping because I was doing everything else too on top of it, so I could be here. Now, granted, I got cut out a little bit early on that, so I was kind of scrambling in the beginning. But I want you, when you're doing it, to walk out so confidently that it's going to go well, that you're not panicked, because then you go into penny pincher mode, then you go into panic, then you find a new job because you're nervous. Finding a new job right now is not an option until it completely collapses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's 99% confidence in yourself and your work ethic. If you can't bust your ass at your 9 to 5, you're not going to do it for yourself.
I think it's important too, because you quitting your job
It's hard.
with bills, and you said it. You like make sure you have things kind of ready to go before you just up and quit.
Oh God!
Because
please
quitting
don't
your
up and
job with no backup plan and no nothing is crazy. And not crazy. It's crazy. I'm just gonna
I
say
like
it's crazy.
it. Okay, here's
It's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just
It's
gonna say
insane,
it.
but here's the
Fucking
thing I do like about it is it puts that fire that you, like, not for nothing, when I was working a regular job, I didn't have that fire that I used to have. Like in college, it was always like, go, 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 go. I want to be the best at this. I want to do the best at whatever I can. And then I lost it because I was in such a cycle of, okay, go in, clock in, do this, go this. And it turned into me not being the best version of myself work-wise. So when I quit, and I went into full panic. You remember the episode of SpongeBob where everything's on fire and they're all running? That's what happened.
Yes.
That's what happened. I was like, oh my God, we lost like how to do anything. And then I realized like survival mode is real. I got real scrappy. I sold a whole bunch of stuff as backup stuff. I sold old clothes I've never worn. I was like taking side gigs, doing whatever. I've done the weirdest side jobs to make extra cash. And it's
She's
so
out here
fun.
twerking in front of Fast Track. The
Basically,
weirdest
I'm
side
just
gigs.
Weird. I'll tell you one that was weird. There's a studio that does figure drawing. And they're like, do you want to be the model for it? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh,
and then
no.
and then they're like, okay, but it's nude. And I was like,
You did it?
Yeah.
and it was 4 people.
Ooh.
It came out, and at first I was like, oh, this is weird. I don't like this. I walked up, like, waddled up, and like, meh, Shrek. And then at the end, I forgot I was nude because it was just like, they weren't treating me like that. You know what I mean? I know. They're treating me like,
I'd be scared.
Oh my.
it was great.
So you
It's-
just
can't
laid on a
imagine.
table and like didn't move,
Yeah,
and they
you
were just
stand
drawing
and
you?
They're trying to draw the shape of the human body so that when they do it artistically, it's accurate. So they're not looking at you like, okay, that's a naked lady. They're looking at you to see proportions so that when they're drawing, it's realistic. You know what I mean? So it's not sexual. They're not looking at me and getting off looking at it. They don't care. In fact, I was kind of offended, like, wow, they really don't care that I'm standing here like this. They're not looking at it like that. And it was
Jesus.
way out of my comfort zone, probably the furthest thing from my comfort zone. And I felt so cool after, like, yeah, I'm
So
awesome.
cool.
I'm art, you know?
If
Weird.
you look at it like that way, I mean,
Hey,
Yeah.
it's definitely a
Art,
perspective
for-
thing. Yeah.
if it was like a paint and sip, bro, that'd be a little weird.
Yeah, like drink some wine, bring your girlfriend.
No.
Yeah.
It was very analytical. There was a timer, and they were just sketch, quick, next. Move to the next pose. Sketch, quick, next. It's crazy. and
right.
weird, but awesome.
That is crazy. All right.
I love that.
Next thing I have for you, because I don't think before when I asked it, it was like a 4-part question, so you didn't get into it.
Yeah.
You recently, or at least I thought recently, shot a movie or were in a movie.
Yeah, a bunch
What
of
was
them.
it about? How'd you get into it? Where can we find it? Everything about it.
Yeah. Okay, so there were 4 movies I've been. 5 movies? 5 movies I've been in.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're all filming in
Yo.
Syracuse, so it's not like crazy. But the first one I got into from a friend was like, hey, they're taking extras for this movie. You can sign up. Doesn't mean you're going to get picked, but sign up on this, whatever. And it was a high school movie. So I was playing a 15-year-old, and I was like, oh, this is gross. But I would go. That one was Big Time Adolescence. I think that's the only one I can say the name of because it's released.
Yeah.
That
Big
was.
Time Adolescence.
Yeah, it has Pete Davidson. You know who Pete Davidson is?
He's in the movie?
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
that
you were
go-
going to be an extra. Or were you in it?
I was in it.
Pete Davidson,
Did
the
that go to the
comedian.
movies or did that go right to
Okay,
DVD?
so that one went to Sundance, and then
Oh, so it's in indie.
yeah, it's an indie film.
Okay.
But I think what's happening, someone said this. I don't know if it's true. Someone might have bought it, so it might go theaters, which would
Went
be
to
cool.
Sundance.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Sundance is that was on my bucket list, so that was really cool. Cause I'm like in this one. Like the other ones, I'm kind of in them. Like I'm dancing in the background or I'm whatever. This one, I'm in that movie. Like
The one you're talking about with Pete Davidson?
Yeah, that
It looks
one-
like the one you just did you were in. You weren't in that?
I was, but that one was more okay. So that one was a graduation scene, and I like in a graduation thing. So I mean, you can see me, but it's not like this one where I'm
Yeah.
very much on camera. This one I was playing. I mean, you don't speak because you're an extra, but I was friends with one of the main characters. So whenever she was on the screen at the party, I was like right with her, just being a bitch. My face looks awful, and all these shots. But that's it. Just go. Every once in a while, they'll bring a new movie here. They'll call the people that are normal extras, and then you just get paid to sit there, wait, go on screen every couple minutes, get food. That.
Wait, can I ask if so? There's that the John Krasinski movie in Little Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Are you applying for that one?
That one. Are you talking about A Quiet Place?
I don't know what it is.
That
I just
one-
saw that they're thinking about filming one in Little Falls with Krasinski in it. So
Yeah, that one. I don't know if I'm going to be in that because it sounds like it's a really small cast. A lot of the ones I do are high school movies because they need people in the halls, they need people in classrooms.
Okay.
And then another one I did was like a hockey movie, just dancing, whatever. But anything that's really small, they usually pick older people for because younger people would stand out in that. Extras aren't meant to stand
Yeah.
out. You're supposed to be there and mind your business. You know what I mean? So it totally depends on the movie, but.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's my favorite side gig for sure. Especially if, say, next month they bring a movie and it's a high school movie and I get booked for Monday through Friday, I'm good money-wise. Like, that will set me up for like 2 months after that.
Yo,
Just to
are you extras?
hang out.
You are extra, bro. That's what you are. No, that's crazy. That's sweet. All right, so not to put you on the spot because we're almost wrapping up here. I'll skip a question, then we'll go back to it. But so the last question is there anything you want to ask us or anything you want to talk about? Just put us on the
Sure.
spot right now, even if
Yeah.
it's about the podcast, anything that
Okay.
you want to ask us.
What's it like doing something in Rome that most people wouldn't do or didn't think was, something that they could do?
You can go first.
Oh man. I think so. We talked about this before a little bit, and I talked about it when I was a guest on this podcast, and now I'm seeing it in real life, in real time. I've had a lot of people reach out to me that were constructive. A lot of close friends, constructive, but I've also talked to people. I was like, "Yo, I'm on a podcast with my buddy. It's really good. We're trying to move the direction. We're doing all this new stuff." And what I get is pretty much laughs because I don't know what it is, and I just don't. It must be this thing in Rome where they just don't want to see you succeed. And I said that exact quote, or whatever you want to call it. I said that on my episode, and I think that if one of my buddies came to me and was like, "Yo, I'm doing this podcast," I'd be on that podcast every week listening to it for the full hour and a half, and I'd be texting them every day or every episode, "Yo, I don't like this." And if they don't like it, whatever, it's fine. But I feel like it's just so different. It could be like this everywhere else. I don't know. I really don't.
I don't think it is. And I mean, I've lived in other places, and they have been bigger places. I just think that Rome is so, jealous. A lot of people here really don't like if they want to do what you're doing, they are mad at you. Instead of making themselves better, they're going to attack you. Because I say I wanted to do a podcast, and I see you guys doing it. Then I'm going to start bashing you instead of just making my own podcast. That mentality, I can't get behind that mentality here, man. It's a mess, this town.
Yeah, I think, to answer your question, my experience, because I've been hosting this for almost 2.5 months now, it's that people don't give you, like, I guess the benefit of the doubt. Like, they don't give you, like, I don't even know how to explain it. So, like,
a chance.
Yeah, they won't give you a chance. So, like, there's people that I know are trolls that are, like, we're going to roast it, and there's people that I know are going to listen to it. But, like, it's like you start it. People know my name from high school or whatever, wherever you know me from. Yeah. And as soon as you started a podcast? What? Nah, fuck that. Like, he's a loser, blah, blah. Whatever it may be, it's not like, you know what? Let me listen to it for what it's worth. It's not even that they don't want to see me succeed, because it's not like I'm in Vegas, like, I'm not in California, like, making millions. It's not even that they don't want to see me succeed. It's that they don't care enough to give it a shot. Like, if we all supported each other, and I've said this plenty of times, I've fallen, like, victim to being someone that does this. Like, I've not supported people. I've talked shit about people. But, like, now that I'm on a road trying to, like, promote something and do better and, like, do something different, I see how everyone else is, and it's like no one gives you a shot. They're like, I listened to it for a week. You said something I didn't like. I wrote you off. Like, they don't care that I've never done a podcast and I'm getting better every week. Like, I've talked to people and they're like, honestly, man, because, like, they're my friends. So, like, I've listened to it for 3 weeks. It's just it doesn't get my attention. You said something to this person I didn't like. I don't listen anymore. And, like, that's fine. If people don't listen, you don't listen. But, like, they don't understand we're changing and we're getting better, and, like, we're trying to, like, I've never been on a radio, I've never been on a podcast, I've never talked on a microphone and had people hear it. So every week I get better, but they don't give me the shot that I think I deserve. Like, I feel like everyone deserves a shot, and that's I don't think it's not wanting me to succeed. Excuse me, I think it's more that they don't care enough to support. That's what I think it is.
Interesting.
What's your? I actually had that question written down for you. So now that, like, you've grown through social media and various like outlets. Do you think being in Rome is like a... Oh, there was a bad echo just now. Oof, that was bad. Do you think being in Rome is like... I don't know. Like
hindering the success?
Yeah,
kind of. There's a bubble around you that you can't get out of.
Okay.
A threshold.
Yeah, I am a firm believer in making the most of what you have. Like... I remember our brand was like, we like really beach-centric stuff. I was like, beach? I live in upstate New York. What, you want me to go to Lake Delta? I made Lake Delta look like it was the prettiest island ever. You work with what you've got. I do think the mentality here gets to me sometimes, and that's probably why I'm so isolated. Like, I stay at my house 90% of the time, because when you leave, you hear people say, like, oh, what you're doing is not a real thing. You need to settle down and whatever, get married and stay in Rome forever and die. Stuff like that. Or, you know what's funny is 90% of the people, like, from high school have unfollowed my Instagram. Like,
really?
A lot. Every time I see, like, I lost a follower, because I'll get a notification when I lose people that I'm following that follow me. Mm-hmm. And every time I post something, maybe something new or sponsored, I'll lose, like, 5 people from high school. And I always thought, I was like, that's odd. Maybe they just don't want to see this content. I think it, like, genuinely makes some people, like, tight about the fact that I'm doing things like this. And I never had that feeling for somebody else, because I want to see, like, I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see anybody that's doing something they love succeed. It's just something in Rome, man. The mind here, that's the only thing holding me back. And me, letting people hold me back. You know what I mean?
All right. This was not planned, but I totally forgot I did this for season 1. So I'm going to put her on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Hard. All right. So this is a new segment, only really for you.
Wait, what?
Dude, no one knew about this.
I don't think I did.
No, he didn't know about it. So over the past, like, month, I've taken some screenshots of tweets that you've posted.
Wait,
you follow my Twitter? I didn't know.
Yeah, I follow your Twitter.
Okay.
And
Twitter honestly is bigger for me than Instagram, and I have less followers, but, like, I've gone viral like 4 times on Twitter. That's nuts.
That's crazy. But I'm gonna do a real quick dude. I had to do this.
Twitter, right. I'm very vocal on Twitter. When you said you're very opinionated, I was like, where are you getting that from? I didn't realize.
It's because I follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm loud on Twitter.
So I'm going to do I'm going to read your tweet, and I want a brief summary. We're not even going to talk about it or debate it. I want a brief summary of what it meant, where it came from and what you were thinking when you
okay.
when you tweeted it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's number one.
Where's this Twitter at?
This is a quote from Jasmine Millner's Twitter. What you're not going to do is tell me what I can and cannot say. Different things empower different people. Move along. What's that?
Popped off on that guy because I said something like, you're a bad bitch. Like, I was like, whenever you feel down, just remember, like, you're a boss ass bitch even when you don't feel like it. And this dude I didn't even know was like, you shouldn't call women bitches. That's not empowering, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and that's when I said that. I was like, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say. If you don't like it, then you can go. Like, and then everybody, I remember all these people liked it. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to, like, fight you, but don't tell me what empowers me or what isn't going to empower her. If she doesn't like it, she doesn't have to like it.
All right.
Oh, I went off on that dude.
Next,
I like this.
Next one. Things that are not compliments for black people. You're one of the good ones. I usually don't like black people, but you're the exception. You're pretty for a black girl. Brown babies are the cutest babies. Asking to touch my hair. You act white. I don't see color. Well, where did that come from? Who were you popping off on?
That all happened in one night, and I was like, "Is this a Jordan Peele skit? Like, what is happening?" The number of people, because the thing was, they started with one comment, and then they realized that I was black, and so they tried to correct it. They're like, "Well, brown babies are the cutest babies. Can I touch your hair? You're one of the good ones." They kept going, and it was a group of people, and I was like, "This is not real life right now. Are you serious?" And I couldn't leave because I was like, this is not happening. But I remember the next day I was like, I put that on Facebook too. I was like, just so you know, none of these are compliments, and in fact, you look so stupid telling me I act white. Get out. Oh, I was so mad.
All right. I like that.
I was like seething when I left. Like, how do you think that's okay?
All right. Next one is RJ's living for this. Next one is this, all caps. I work my ass off to look the way I do, and I'll be damned if a man tells me that I need to cover up all of this with the nail polish finger emojis out.
Now, is that a quote from someone named Amanda?
Amanda Sissette, yeah.
Yeah. Her and I go back and forth. I love that girl. Because somebody would say, like, basically, if you wear something inappropriate, you're kind of asking for it from men. Like if I go out in a really small bikini and somebody, like, touches me, then that's my fault because I was wearing something small. And then the other thing was, like, saying, like, you have to be modest to be respected. Like, not for nothing, I work my ass off to have this ass. So if I want to wear shorts that compliment my ass, that's none of your business. And I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I was so mad.
I feel like she ends every one of these with,
so mad.
Oh, I was so mad.
I
she
get
was
so
mad.
mad on Twitter.
All right.
She had the this all capitals. Nail polish.
Yeah, with the All right, there's two more. PSA. We already talked about this one. Just because he has a fancy camera doesn't mean he's a photographer.
Oh, God.
Don't let creepy men convince you Don't let creepy men convince you to do things that you're not comfortable with for the sake of art.
Yeah.
That's the one we kind of already hit on, right?
Yeah, sake of art, in quotes. I remember that one. Because
Yeah.
they'll always be like, oh, pose nude because your body is an art piece. I know it is, but not for you. You know what I mean? Like, stop. Men are so creepy. Oh, God. I was so mad. It's going to end with everything.
That's what we're going to call it. I was so mad.
so mad.
This
That's the new
episode,
one.
I was so mad.
All right, last one. I don't have it screenshot. I might have deleted it, but I
Okay.
remember it. I don't remember the tweet, but I remember the word I wanted to know. What is mansplaining?
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to mansplaining to you. So mansplaining is, say I work in a computer programming office, okay? Just hypothetical. And I am really, really proficient in computer programming, but the dude next to me thinks that I can't be this proficient because basically I'm a woman, so he's going to explain the whole process to me like I've never done something in my life. It's like men explaining stuff. You know what's a better example is when you're at the gym and you're lifting and some guy will walk over and be like, actually, you should do it like this. Sit down. Mind your business. You're not helping people when you do that, especially. It's the whole concept, definition-wise, would be like explaining to a woman something that she clearly already knows, but just because you're
But it's
underestimating.
stereotypically like a male thing.
Yeah, like if I'm lifting, they'll be like, actually, you should mind your business. That's what you should do. That's mansplaining. So don't get caught mansplaining.
I
anything.
will be using that term in the future. Don't care.
All right. Explain my tweet segment is over.
No, we're calling it I was so mad.
I was so mad.
Yeah, I was so mad.
You did pick all that. You didn't see the one where I was like, "Have a great day. I love you."
Well, no, I started screenshotting them like 2 months ago.
No.
And then I felt no. Listen. These were all within like a week, 2 weeks time span.
Yeah.
And then I like felt bad. I was like, nah, I don't want to like just bring up all her tweets and roast her.
No,
Like,
it's hilarious. If I put it out on the internet, it's fair game.
yeah. So I was literally, that was from 2 months ago. They weren't like every week for 3 months. Like that was
Yeah.
literally all within like a 2 week time span. But I started doing it because I wanted her to come on and explain them. And I was like, nah, that's kind of like fucked up to just like ask her about every tweet she's ever posted.
You should. I think it's. I thought you were gonna hit the harder ones. Those were pretty moderate.
No, there
I've
was
had
some I
ones-
looked at and I was like, "Ooh, I really wish I could." But I didn't do it. But
All right.
all right. So
your-
the tweet segment is over. I think we're done. We hit everything. There's one more thing we're gonna do. If anyone's listening, go check out either our Instagrams or Jasmine's Instagrams. We're gonna do a rate this podcast live on Instagram after this. So there'll be a little bonus footage if you want to check it out. But excuse me, Jasmine, thank you for coming on. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
This was fun.
It was awesome. RJ, as always, thanks for co-hosting with me.
Fun time, man.
You guys can find this podcast finally on iTunes. We're on iTunes officially. Spotify, as always, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play. Basically any platform where you can listen or watch podcasts, you can find us. Definitely go to YouTube if you want the video format. And once again, this has been The Real Bar. I appreciate you guys coming out, and have a good week. Yo, Arch, you know what I was thinking? You ever have a fucking ice cold beverage? I'm talking like freezing cold, perfect temperature, just goes down easy.
I don't know, Mace. Have you ever had a sandwich stuffed in a pita full of chicken tenders and bacon?
Chicken tenders and bacon. 2 of my favorite food groups. Dude, where can you get both of those things?
I think it's a place called the Palisades Hotel.
Palisades Hotel Bar and Grill. Jasmine, have you ever eat there or drank there?
I have not, but I also don't eat bacon or chicken. So
Oh,
I'm sure they have.
She just ruined it. And I'm
I'm
serious.
sorry. I'm sure they have a nice salad.
They've got something for everyone.
They got plenty
And
of salads.
speaking of something for everyone, we've got something for Jasmine. We got a
Thank you.
$10 gift card to our sponsor, the Palisades Hotel Bar and Grill. Redeemable whenever. Get whatever you want. We can go together. Get
I'll
a
go.
drink, water if she wants. But we appreciate the Palisades for giving that to us.